Hello?
Hello, hi Dave.
Hey, Isaac, how are you?
Good.
So, Janet said you're going to be the MC for today, huh?
Yes, that's what she said.
Cool. Then probably I should make someone else co-host so they can be letting people in while you're talking, or I can do it in the beginning and then transfer it to you.
Okay, sure. I think I'll be able to do that.
Great.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Isaac.
All right. I'm happy someone can hear me. So would like to thank everybody for joining this session today. This is actually a workshop that we organize monthly for OZE users. As businesses, what we tell our customers, our users, is that OZE is beyond an app. It's not just an app that you use and then we leave you hanging. We have an experience that is as part of our businesses in you using the app. We also take pride in guiding our businesses to grow while we also monitor and then benefit from them. So as indicated in the program, today's session is going to be on how to create new goals for your business. For small businesses and then startups, usually there's a challenge of setting a clear-cut goal because we might not have the resources to do that. And sometimes due to unforeseen circumstances like the current pandemic going on affects our business. So we don't even have a plan B to support what we are doing. So that's the main reason why this session has been scheduled so that it becomes an all participatory meeting. So without much ado, I'll just go over the outline of the program we have today. So our next session will be a presentation on our main topic. That is how to create New Year goals, and that will be handled by Dave. And then from there, we move to the announcement of the $1,000 grant. That side is going to be handled by Megan. So if you're part of you're able to join the competition, you realize that the $1,000 grant was meant as a competition for the OZ app to get ideas and insights on how they were going to use the funds for. So when it gets to that side, you're going to get more details on that. After that, we'll just go through a live demo on how to use the OZ app. I'm sure maybe for a new user, so you've been trying hard to use the app, but you still don't have clear cuts in terms of some parts of the navigation. So we'll take that. And then once we are done, there'll be some sort of networking for you to introduce yourself, what you do. And that will be done in the same WhatsApp group that you are in. So without much ado, I'm going to introduce Dave, who is going to present our topic for today. Dave is actually the co-founder and then COO, the Chief Operations Officer of OZ. So without further ado, I welcome Dave. Hi, Dave.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks, Isaac, for the introduction. Let's clap for Isaac. First time he's been the MC of one of our workshops, so really excited to have him here. Couple of ground rules. If you're not talking, please do keep your mic on mute and your video off to save the bandwidth. We are recording this video or this meeting rather, so it will be available after the session. We'll probably put it on our YouTube channel for people to review afterwards. As usual, the OZ team is standing by in the chat, in the Zoom chat. If you have any problems with not being able to hear us or friends that can't get in the Zoom room or haven't been let in yet, please feel free to let us know and we'll take care of that right away. I know everyone is excited to hear who is the winner of the $1,000. Yes, that's dollars, $1,000 grant. So I'm going to try to keep my session to just 30 minutes and then we will jump into that announcement. As usual, we try to make these workshops interactive. So there's going to be some parts where I'm going to ask you to take a moment to reflect and think about the goals for your business. So if you don't have, if you have your phone available to jot down some notes or a piece of paper and pen, that would be really helpful. And I think that's all the logistics stuff for the meeting. Let me go ahead and pull up my presentation here. Oh, actually, Janet, since I made you the host, I'm going to need you to give me permission to share my screen there.
Sure, I'm doing that right away.
Thanks. I've got my OZ hat on today. Pretty excited about that. Haven't worn my OZ hat in a while. So. Looks like we've got quite a few people joining. Okay, thanks, Janet.
Can you share now?
Yes.
Great.
Yes, I can. All right, there we go. And let me put it in present mode. Hey, I got a compliment from, Christabel. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay, Janet, can you see my screen in present mode here?
Yeah, I can.
All right, very good. So let's get started then, everyone. This month's session is about how to create New Year goals for your business. We're still in January. January is almost over. I can't believe how fast it's gone, but it's still a really good time to set goals for this new year that we're in, and hopefully a new year that's going to be better than the last year. So we're going to talk a little bit about how we can set goals for our business today. Let me move on. Oh, real quickly, a little bit about me. Isaac already introduced me, but co-founder and chief operations officer at Oze. My background is in digital marketing and business analytics, a little bit of operations, and across a couple of different sectors. Today's focus is going to be really around these last 2 points here. How to set growth goals. What we mean by growth goals is goals that have metrics behind them that we can specifically use to grow our business. If we have time, we'll get into a little bit of conversion rates, which might be pretty interesting. I'm going to go ahead and skip through this slide here and get to the growth goals. All right, so this is where we want to start. And I always tell people that to set goals, you need to answer 2 questions. And those questions are, where do we want to go as a company? Where do you want to take the company? And after you've answered that question, then you jump into how do we get there? What are the steps that we need to take to get to that goal? So I want to take a couple of minutes right here at the beginning to have everyone reflect on those 2 questions. So we're going to take about 5 minutes here. And I want you to take some time to reflect. I'll put on some meditation music. This is out of Megan's book. If you've ever joined a session with Megan, she loves to play this meditation music so we can reflect. But so what we need to reflect on is, where do we want to go? So this year, where do we want to take our business? And the second question is, what are the 2 or 3 things we're going to do that will allow us to get there, that will allow us to get where we're going? So I'm going to put on the music, take 5 minutes, try to jot down the answers to those questions. And then if you're comfortable and you want to share them with everyone else, you can post them in the chat. And then we can give each other some feedback on those thoughts. Okay. So let me turn on the music and let's go ahead and get started with 5 minutes, please. All right, 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes, please. Okay, welcome back, everyone. If you finished and you'd like to share some of your goals, where do you want to go? How are you going to get there? Why don't you go ahead and share them in the chat, and we'll get some feedback from everyone here in the group and see how you did. We're going to go over some best practices around how to set goals, but I wanted to get started with this session so that everyone can brainstorm some thoughts. So if you finished writing down your thoughts and you want to share, go ahead and post them in the chat. We'll be looking for feedback in that group. All right, so now that we've done that, let's continue with some best practices. So the first thing I want to mention here is the points on this slide. And we'll start with setting a revenue goal. If you're in business, it means you're in business to make money. And so the first thing I always encourage people to do is set a revenue goal for either the next few months or the year. So for example, at Jose, we set a revenue goal for the year. We said in 2021, how much revenue do we want to make? So we started there. The next thing that I always recommend doing is setting goals that can be achieved in 3 months or less. And the reason for that is that, especially in today's day and age, things are changing fast. The business environment is changing fast. You don't know when things like the pandemic are going to happen or a downturn in the economy. So what you want to do is set goals that can be achieved in 3 months or less. Okay. And then the last point here is just, can you pick 1 or 2 goals to start? Sometimes I talk to companies who have this list of 15 different metrics that they're going to try to track, and they're going to try to increase each metric by 50%. Well, that's great, but it's just not super realistic because it's so much easier to accomplish 1 or 2 things at a time than it is to accomplish 15 things at a time. So those are my first points to start. And I see some goals were posted here. To relocate to a city to make it easy for my clients to reach me. Very interesting. Great. I see a revenue goal coming in. 10,000 CDs every 6 months. Very good. That's an excellent goal. Great. I like seeing this stuff coming in. Great. All right, let's continue. So the next point I want to make is about picking a framework. There are loads of different frameworks for how to set goals out there. And what I always tell people is just pick one and then commit to it. If you, and pardon my French, if you want to get shit done, you just have to pick a framework that will allow you to set goals and then commit to that framework. And then you'll be fine going forward. So where people kind of get tripped up a little bit is they say, okay, I'm going to do KPIs, I'm going to do SMART goals, and I'm also going to do OKRs. Well, again, coming back to that, if you're trying to do 15 things at once, you're not going to be able to do it. So what we're going to go through today is how to set OKRs. This is a particular framework that we use at OZE, and that's used by a lot of companies across the world. But like I said, I don't really care which framework you use, as long as you pick one and commit to it. So that's the important thing to note here. All right. So why do we use OKRs? And OKR stands for Objectives and Key Results. We use them because Google uses them. And oh, Janet, we have someone who can't hear anything. If you could maybe look into that, please.
Sure.
Great, thank you. So we use OKRs because Google uses them, a lot of the top companies use them, and a number of other reasons. So the first is, like we just talked about, we want to know the answers to the questions, where do we want to go and how do we get there? And the OKRs really allows, the OKR framework really allows us to answer those two questions in a sort of methodical way. Let's see, what other points do I want to hit here? Yeah, so one of the things, and you may be what I like to call a solopreneur, or maybe you have a small team of 2 or 3 people, or maybe you even have a bigger team. But what's important to do is to, once you decide on your goals, and I would bring your team in to help you decide on the goals if you can. But once you decide on, make sure you make them public. Make sure that everyone on the team understands that these are the goals that you're working towards, so that you can everyone can focus their efforts towards achieving those goals. Another thing that's really interesting to note is when you have goals for your company, it really encourages everyone on the team to think critically about, okay, is the action that I'm taking going to get us closer to achieving this goal? Because if it's not, then do I really need to be doing this action? And the last thing here is that setting goals encourages ongoing discipline. Sometimes it's really easy to get bogged down in the day-to-day operations of the company, and all of a sudden it's 3 months later and you haven't achieved the goal that you want to achieve. So making sure that these goals are front and center will really help with that. And then making sure that at the end of each week or at the end of each month, you're checking, okay, how close did I get to achieving one of my key results? So that's the points I wanted to hit there. Let's see. Yes, here is a couple of the points that I've already hit. It's important to make your goals doable. So can they be done in 3 months? And at the same time that you do that, some of the longer term goals that you set, you want to make them a little bit inspirational in that you should be able to complete at least 70%, but maybe you won't hit 100% of the goal. Make sure that there are goals that can be controlled by the team. And what I mean by that is that the team members can actually take actions that will allow them to achieve this goal. Sometimes we end up setting goals that are out of our control. Something that, I don't know, the marketing agency that you work with has control over. So we want to make sure we don't do that. And then make sure to evaluate at least every 6 weeks. Maybe you're going to evaluate a little bit more than that, but at least every 6 weeks. Weasel words. If you could see my little GIF there, that's, I guess, a little weasel. But what we want to avoid when we're setting goals is words like effective, efficient, quality. Yes, it's great that you want to make a quality product, but you want to be a little more deliberate about your goal setting. So instead of saying, and we're going to go over some examples so that this is very clear for everyone, but instead of saying I want to make a quality product, you might say I want to make a product that's approved by the FDA, for example, because that proves quality. So really try to avoid some of these words that, while they sound nice, they don't really mean anything. Oh, I want to optimize my processes. Well, that's great, but how are you going to optimize your processes? What's the real goal in there that is going to allow you to optimize your processes? Okay, so those are weasel words. So try to avoid those when you're setting goals. All right, so great. We're going to jump into objectives and objectives. So again, we're talking about OKRs. And objectives is the O. So the O in OKRs is objectives. And objectives are supposed to answer the question, where do we want to go? They aren't necessarily measurable. So we'll leave the numbers for the key results. I mean, you might have a number in objective, but you don't have to have a number in an objective. It's a little tough to say, in an objective. And the objectives are what set the overall direction of the team. So like we said, answering the question, where do we want to go? And I'm going to give you some time to jot down what you think objectives are. We're just going to go through a few examples here. So coming back to the weasel words, what is a bad objective? Optimize our sales processes to be more efficient. Okay, that sounds really nice. Yes, everyone wants to optimize their sales processes to be more efficient, but that doesn't mean anything, right? So a good example of an objective might be increase the percentage of my customers who are paying via mobile money, right? So if I'm encouraging, and depending on what the business is, you may or may not want people to pay via mobile money, but if you do want people to pay via mobile money, then a good objective would be, how can I increase, would be to increase the percentage of those paying via mobile money. And then what we're going to do is, okay, we'll take the objective and we'll break that down into key results. So what are the steps that I'm going to take in order to meet that objective? So let's see. So that's objectives. I think we want to pause there. Yeah, before we go to key results. We're gonna again take some time and have you everyone come up with 1 or 2 objectives. Okay, so these are goals that answer the question, where do you want to go? So you may have some notes that you already brainstormed from the previous little break that we took there, but let's do that again and try to really finalize what are 2 objectives that I want to set for my company that can be completed in the next 3 months. Okay, let's do that. 2 objectives that can be completed in the next 3 months. All right. So I'm going to put the music back on, and let's just take 3 minutes this time to try to finalize some of our objectives. All right, great. Does anyone want to post their objective in the chat so that we can see it? There's someone else, Janet, that is having trouble hearing. If you could check into that, please. Okay, here we go. Christabel, thank you for sharing. make all products and their prices visible and easily accessible in one location for easy reference for customers. Excellent. That's a great objective. And I could see, okay, A and B, you're already thinking about key results. We'll jump into those in a second. So that's great. But that's, yeah, this is a great objective. You really need to make sure that your products are, like you said, visible and easily accessible in one location for easy reference. That's a great objective. Very good. Let's see. Get 100 hotels to sign up on my platform. Excellent. Yep. Yep. So that's an example of a good objective that has a number in there. We want to get 100 hotels to sign up on my platform. And so what we're going to do then is set key results for that. What are the steps that I'm going to take that's going to allow me to get to those 100 hotels? Find a way to reduce my cost of production. Also a very good one. Then what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, these are the key results. These are the steps that I'm going to take to reduce my cost of production. Increase monthly production volumes of products by 10%. Also a good one. We're going to say, okay, what are the steps that we're going to take to increase monthly production volumes? Look for a good location in the center of town to rent a shop to make it easy for our clients to reach us. Okay, not bad. We're going to say, okay, what are the steps that we're going to take that's going to allow us to find that good location and be able to rent that shop? Increase sales by leveraging social media advertisements. Want to increase it? Yep, good. So an increase sales by leveraging social media advertisements. Okay, what are the steps that we're going to take? Well, really, leveraging social media advertisements would be one step to increase sales, but that's good as well. Excellent. All right, very good. Thank you, everyone who shared. That's very helpful for everyone on the call to see, okay, these are some of the objectives that my colleagues are coming up with. So it's great to help them brainstorm what they might come up with as well. All right, so let's continue then and jump on to key results. So key results should answer the question, how do we get there, right? So key results should be quantitative. So these are the ones that definitely need to have numbers in there. You can't set a key result. Well, you could set a key result without a number, but typically they have a number in there. They need to be specific. They should be progress-based, and they should drive the right behavior. Those are some of the things that key results should do. Now, there's a couple of different types of key results, and I want to go over these with you because these are very important. So there's a baseline key result. And so a baseline key result, it says, okay, now where we are, this is the current metric. So for example, let me think of a good example here. Great, so we'll use the hotel example. A baseline might be, right now we're signing up one hotel every month. And if you want to change that baseline so you want to change that baseline of one hotel every month to a certain amount. So we're going to change, so a good key result there might be, we're going to sign up 5 hotels every month. So we're going to change the baseline from 1 to 5. Okay, so that's the example of a baseline. A metric could just be any number that you want to hit. For example, let me look at the examples here so I can use one that's relevant. Find a way to reduce my cost of production. I want to reduce so cost of production. So one input to cost of production is ingredients, right? So maybe a great metric key result to set would be, I want to decrease the cost of ingredients by 20%. So that would be a metric. And then a milestone would be, for example, a larger number that you're trying to hit, right? Let's see, let me look at the examples again. So for example, Christabel wants to make all products visible and easily accessible. So a good key result might be the milestone of getting all of her products on her website. Maybe she does, and I don't know, Christabel, if you do or not, but a great milestone key result would be to make sure that all of my products are showing on the website so that people can buy them on the website. So those are the different types of key results. Let's see if there's, oh, right, we wanted to talk about some examples. Let's see, this is a very tech-focused example. So let's just skip this because I don't want to jump into that. So what we're going to do now is just, again, take a couple of minutes to jot down our key results. So you've probably already written down 1 or 2 objectives. So now think about that objective and say, okay, my objective is to get 100 hotels signed up on my platform. What are the 2 or 3, and I'll only do 3, excuse me. If you do more than that, you could do more than that, but I would say focus on 3 because the human brain likes to see things in 3s. So let's say your objective is get 100 hotels signed up on my platform. What are the 3 steps that you're going to take? Make sure they have numbers in them. What are the 3 steps that you're going to take to get to that objective? All right. So I'm going to put the music back on. 3 more minutes to jot down a key result, or 2 or 3. Once you have them, please share them in the chat. Let's go. Okay, all right. We've done key results. How about that piano music? I've always been a big fan of piano. Anyone else? I took lessons growing up and never was really great. I always wanted to be a great piano player. Anyway, let's see what we got. I saw some posts starting. Apply for funding to rent a shop. Use part of the money to buy a few machines. Do online advertisement to increase. Okay, great. Okay, so we've got a couple of key results here. And what I would encourage and what I would say is, can we put some numbers to these ones here? So it just says the name of the phone, doesn't say who wrote this, but if you want to apply for funding to rent a shop, how much funding do you need to apply for, right? Make sure you put a number on that. You want to buy a few machines. Make that a little bit more specific. Okay, I want to buy this machine and it costs this much. I want to buy this machine and it costs this much. Wanting to do online advertisement, that's great as well. But can you put a number to that? I want to drive 10 new customers per month to come to my shop. And because the goal is to increase the customer base. So put a number by that as well. Okay. Let's see what else we got. And if you haven't posted your key results yet, please go ahead and post them, and we'll talk about them a little bit. Get 5 hotels to sign up every month. That's a great one. We talked about that one already. Use 6 SM platforms for aggressive marketing. Okay. That's not bad. It's great that you want to use 6 platforms. What I would encourage you to do is to pick 2 platforms. Pick 2 platforms, and then instead of saying I'm going to use X amount of platforms, say I'm going to get X amount of engagements on these 2 platforms. So I'm going to get X amount of people messaging me from these 2 social media platforms, or I'm going to get X amount of likes on my post that I'm doing. But really what you want to do is, while likes are nice, I'm digressing a little bit into social media, but there's an element of social media that's important for, how do I say, brand awareness. By staying in front of people, you're posting things on social media to make sure that you keep popping up in front of people. And then there's an element of, how do I drive people to me or to my shop or to my product in order to encourage them to buy, right? So maybe you're doing a post on your social media page in order to drive them to send you a WhatsApp message, so that you can then have that engagement and hopefully close them on a deal, right? So yeah, I don't really know the business model for the hotels, but what I would encourage you is to, instead of picking all 6 social media platforms, pick a couple of them and really focus on those and see how you can drive people to sign up from those 1 or 2. Anyone else want to post their key result so we can talk about them? And thank you very much for those of you who shared. I know it's not always easy to share what we're jotting down, but it's really helpful for the group to talk about some examples. Okay, great. So of course, I wouldn't ask you guys to share examples without sharing an example of our own. So this is an example of a real OKR, a real objective and key result that we set at OZE. It's kind of old now, but we said we wanted to grow monthly revenue to $5,000 a month. I can't tell you whether or not we got there or not, but this was the goal that we set. This was our revenue goal, right? And we said, okay, how do we get to that goal? So the key results, we said, okay, can we get 50 customers to subscribe to the app without talking to a sales rep? Then we said, okay, what is the percentage increase we want to have in our total paid subscriptions? And then we said a couple of other things. We said, okay, can we integrate payments? Which is something we moved a little bit further in the product roadmap, coming out soon. That's just a little tidbit. Very soon you'll be able to collect digital payments from your customers inside the app without having to leave the app. So that's gonna be really cool. That's definitely coming out this year. And then the last thing we had was to sign 2 enterprise deals. So we do also work with organizations. And so that was one of our key results as well. The number of deals that we wanted to close. So that's an example right from OZE. And that's the end of the first part of my presentation. If I have more time, I could go into maybe some other things, but let me just check in with Isaac and Janet here and see, do I have more time? Are we ready to do the announcement?
Okay, so I guess Megan is not ready at the moment, and so we can pick some few questions, and then I'll ping her to find out if she's ready now.
Okay, great. Yeah, let's take a couple of questions and see if I can give you guys some good answers. And if we have more time after that, I could jump into some conversion rates. But let me just stop sharing my screen for a second here. All right. If you have questions, you can just raise your hand and we'll call on you, or you can just type them in the chat. Either way works. If you haven't raised your hand before, there's a little reactions button at the bottom of your screen. You just click on that and then just give us a thumbs up or oh, there's not actually a hand raising emoji. I thought there was. Maybe I'm thinking of Teams. Well, whichever emoji you put, we'll know you want to ask a question. So go ahead and put an emoji. Or again, you can just type your questions in the chat. Be happy to answer any questions about goal setting, or if you just have a question about business in general, happy to take a shot at that as well. Here we go. Francis, leveraging social media to increase sales. Okay, so these are key results. Okay, great. Let me take a look at this. Access to flexible credit facility to obtain a shop. That will give me a dominant presence with my sales strategy. Okay, good. So again, here, Francis, what I would say is, can you put numbers to these key results? So you want to leverage social media to increase sales. How many customers do you want to get from your social media pages? What is the type of engagement? Add a number to that. Access to flexible credit facility to obtain a shop. Again, how much money do you want to access? How much money do you want to how big of a loan do you want to get that will allow you to obtain a shop? Okay, then we have a question here. Oh, really good question. So the question is, when an OKR is not met within the time frame, so when an objective and key result is not met within the time frame, do you extend the time frame or change the OKR? When I saw another key result, I want over 1,000 followers. It's a good key result. So to answer the question, so we set new OKRs every 3 months. So instead of extending the time frame, what I would say is you set a new OKR, and it could be exactly the same as the last one, but generally you would tweak it a little bit because you probably got a little bit towards the objective, but you just didn't quite get there. All right, so maybe you change the OKR a little bit to reflect the changes that happen in your business. So if you don't meet an OKR in the time frame given, I would set a new one, right? Because you just want to have consistent periods, right? So if the time period was 3 months, the next 3 months that are coming up, you're going to set new OKRs. And it's okay to have the same OKR as the quarter before. Let's call it the quarter. But I would encourage you to, for example, if you set an objective that you didn't hit, maybe you need to change the key results, right? Because if you set an objective and the steps that you're going to take to hit that objective didn't allow you to hit it, then that probably means you need new key results. So the objective could be the same, but maybe you need to change the key results and say, okay, the things I tried to get to the objective didn't work. What are some new things that I could try that will allow me to get to the objective? Okay, so that's what I would say in response to that question. Are there other questions I can answer? Okay. Well, if there's no more questions, I do see that Megan has joined. I know we have a big announcement to make. Just want to thank everyone for your time, and for those of you who posted in the chat about your objectives and key results. That was super helpful. If you want to talk to me more about this, just contact one of the team at Jose, and I'll be happy to talk to you a little bit about your OKRs. Thanks everyone, and I'll throw it over to Megan.
Hi, good morning. Good almost afternoon, everybody. I am here to announce a really exciting initiative that we have at Jose. So if you were a finalist in the Best Year Ever competition, can you please just give me a thumbs up so I know that you're here? I see one hand raised. So hopefully some others have joined as well. The best year ever. Okay, good. A second. The best year ever was an initiative that we did at OZE to really help get 2021 started in the best conditions. We know that 2020 was not the easiest year for businesses, but 2021 can be, and we think that getting a little bit of money can help help a business really set the year off on a good start. So we had finalists. These finalists are active OZE users. So to be eligible, you had to use the app and record at least 10 transactions before the 15th of January, so before the middle of January, because while money is nice, we also believe that just using OZE is going to put you on course for the best year ever. So we wanted to make it easy for people to start recording their sales and expenses. So then there was a small essay question on how you would use $1,000 to make 2021 your best year ever. And based on those answers, we picked these 10 finalists. So you can see their names on the screen. Can we give our finalists a round of applause? These finalists all are able to qualify for a discounted interest rate if they apply for an OZE loan. So as I think many of you know, active OZE users are eligible to apply for loans through OZE. If any of these 10 businesses are qualified for a loan, then instead of getting the regular interest rates that we charge, they'll get a discount on the interest rate. So you might not have won $1,000, maybe you did, but you can get low cost capital to continue to expand your business, because we saw that the ideas of how everyone wanted to spend $1,000 had a lot of merit and can really be good for your business. So congratulations to the finalists. We are giving third place, second place, and first place. So we added 2 more prizes in because people were very engaged and we wanted to reward the efforts. Mahfouz, be careful with your video so no one can see the check yet. Okay, so without further ado, I will show the third place winner now. I don't know why their picture isn't loading. There we go. So congratulations to Busy Helpers. You have received third place. Your prize package is a 3-month silver subscription to OZE. So you can get some free premium services from OZE, as well as a 30-minute free consulting session with either myself or Dave. So if you just heard Dave go through OKRs, maybe you want to take 30 minutes to talk with Dave and really set your OKRs for the year. So congratulations to Busy Helpers. Is Busy Helpers on the call? If Busy Helpers is on the call, please go off mute and say hi. You're welcome to share a word. Okay, maybe Busy Helpers is not on the call. So now we're going to announce our second place winner. So the prize package for second place is 3 months of a gold OZE subscription and then 1 hour of free consulting with myself or Dave. So drum roll. Second place was Echo Clean Ghana. Congratulations to Echo Clean Ghana. Is Charles on the call? Is Echo Clean Ghana on the call? You're welcome to go off mute and say some words. Okay, then we will move on to the final place. So this is the big prize. This is 1,000 USD directly given to your business to spend on, what you wanted to spend it on to make 2021 the best year ever. We're really, really excited and proud of the business that won and the engagement they showed throughout the whole competition. And so we're very, very pleased and honored to be able to give them this prize. Just to build up the suspense, we want to do things like this more in the future. So if you're not an OZE user, or you weren't active, so you didn't make the semifinals or you didn't apply, next time you'll know this is real and it's really worth it to become active on OZE and apply for these kinds of awards. So in first place with a prize of $1,000, the winner is 365 Goodness. Congratulations. And I see you're on the call, so please take off your microphone and you're welcome to say a few words and promote your business. And Mahfouz, you can show the big check.
Hi, Megan. I'm super excited to hear this. Thank you so much. I don't know, can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear you. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
We're,
Consider yourself having an Aussie app ambassador for the best year ever. Thank you so much. This means a lot to us. I know what you're doing now is going to turn our business around, and we are going to be able to achieve the main objective for which we set out to begin the 365 Goodness. And definitely along our journey of success, Aussie Business App has been very influential, and we are going to make sure that we propagate that too in all our dealings. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We're very excited to be able to give you this award. Someone somewhere on here has a big check for you. I don't see their video on, but we'll be in touch with you to talk about how we can transfer this money over to you so you can get working. So congratulations to everybody who was a finalist, everyone who applied. And like I said, stay active on OZE because this is the first giveaway of the year, but it's definitely not going to be the last giveaway that we do. So congratulations to everyone and thank you so much.
Thank you so much too.
Mahfouz, where's that big check? Let's see it.
I'm trying to spotlight him for everyone, but I don't know if I'm the right host to be able to right level of host.
Oh, I see it. He's trying to show it. His name is Dave on the screen. We'll send you a picture.
Yeah,
we'll send you.
Picture.
Mm-hmm. All right, very good. Janet, Isaac, anything else on the agenda?
Yes, Dave, we would like actually to go through a live demo, but looking at how extensive the time has been, I don't know if the house is, we have bandwidth for that. But if you're interested in us going through the live demo, you can just react in the chat or like type in the chat if you can still wait. We'll do that. But I would like to say a big congrats to 365 Goodness for the prize. I mean, you've done so well. We also encourage our users to stay committed to using the OZE app because there's more goodness in OZE for the times ahead of us. Thank you for the session too. It was much an insightful one. So I think it was very obvious that for most of the businesses that have signed on to the session today, though we had objectives, the breakdown towards achieving those objectives was what is clearly absent. So it means that we're struggling to put up numbers and then even putting up realistic OKRs to achieving our objectives. So I think this is actually a takeaway for all of us that from now on, we are going to actually start with a revenue goal. We set goals that are going to, that are achievable. And then we're also not going to like saddle ourselves with like a lot of goals. We pick just 2 or let's say 3 and then move with them. So I also look through the chats to see if we have people who are actually okay for us to do the live demo. Jay, what do you think about that?
Yes, so I think at the moment, if anybody wants anything specific in the app to go live now, we can do that. But if there's nothing like that, maybe we can close.
Okay. So I'll actually put my number in the session that I can in the chat session. Looking at the time that we've spent, what we can do is that if you're in the WhatsApp group, you can just network, put up your business in the group, and then other people who are also like interested in your services might contact you, or maybe you would even need help from these businesses. That is actually one of the highlights, good highlights of um, as far as we're giving you what to do with your business, we also link you with the resource people who can actually you can actually collaborate with. So without further ado, I'll just put my contacts in there in case you need anything. You can call or send a WhatsApp message. So the number is 0540 126 850. 0540-126-850. So I want to just say a big congratulations to all our winners and then all the participants as well. We look forward to doing the same thing, same workshop somewhere next month, that's February. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. And then we also like to say a big thank you to Dave and Megan and all the OZ team members who were able to this workshop. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the day as well as the rest of the week. Thank you. Bye.